The views and opinions expressed by Zip is not always the views and opinions held by Zip. Sometimes they come from the cat. The cat doesn't identify as a cat. I believe it's a pit bull. So around here, we refer to it as pit cat. In this video, we're going to be talking about how the internet destroyed Bimie. Yeah. Bimie let the internet destroy him. Before we get into the video, though, I'm going to need you to start off on the like button, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I drop these videos and all that. Also, salute to 37,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 50,000. So if you're not subscribed, patch in with the patch. If you already patched in with the patch, salute to you. You heard? Yeah, happy Mother's Day also to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Alright, so boom, check this out, right? Bimie let the internet destroy him. Yeah, he went outside on this internet. All them years in the streets, he was able to duck and dodge, stay under the radar as far as all that telling and shit that was associated with his name was concerned, you heard? Yeah, because word in the streets travel, however, only but so many ears is gonna hear that he did bad. Because back in 1995, 96, 97 and all of that, when I first started going through the system really and all of that, Bimie name used to sound bad in the streets. Nobody used to talk good about Bimie. They used to say he was soft, and they used to say he was a rat. But nobody used to never have no paperwork on this. They just used to always say he was a rat, and they used to say he was soft, you heard? Big Nose Troy, tough guy, was saying all of them things about him, you heard? Other tough guys as well. We never heard Prince say nothing bad about Bimie. We never heard Preem say nothing bad about Bimie. They never threw him under the bus. Probably because that whole time, them niggas was fighting cases themselves, you heard? Yeah, for a few of those years, like 9, 7, 9, 8, 9, Preem was in the town, right? But he wasn't home long, you know what I mean? Dudes was in jail, fighting cases still. They wasn't going to be in magazine articles or on interview, phone call interviews talking about Bimie was a rat. They had major people looking at them cases and all that. They stayed away from that. It's a man in Green Haven right now named Afro. He been pumping Bimie was a CI for a long time. You let Bimie tell it, or his nephew, back 2000, 2001. That man was saying Bimie's name was in his paperwork. Bimie was a confidential informant and all of that. Because when Bimie nephew pulled up to the jail with the dudes ran up on his nephew. Yo, this nigga saying your uncle ain't no good. This nigga, and he had to go to the law library and all of that with the dude, let him tell it. So it's been well established for over 20 years that Bimie wasn't no good. However, if you wasn't from Queens or Brooklyn or deeply rooted in the streets of New York City, chances are you never heard that. Yeah, you never heard that. If you was from California, Texas, Florida, Atlanta, you might not have never heard of Bimie in the first place. You might have seen him moving and grooving. You feel me? But you might not have never heard of him. I mean, Atlanta, you know, he went here, he relocated. They chased him out of New York. He went to Atlanta. You understand what I'm saying? So down in Atlanta, they might know who he was. But even then, you had to be in the know to know who he was. You understand what I'm saying? Then comes the internet. Then comes the internet. Not just here comes the internet, but Bimie got a sister who's famous, who got a son that's super famous. Yeah. And so that put him back in the spotlight somewhat. Now it's like, Dad, that's Bimie and Joe's sister. Know what I'm saying? That's Waka Flocka moms. Waka Flocka got an uncle named Bimie. He got another uncle. Yo, who Bimie? Who Bimie? People want to know who Bimie is. And so here comes this internet. Bimie started making his rounds on the internet. So now you could go on YouTube and you could look up videos of Bimie on there from 15 years ago. talking about how he was getting $50,000 a day just from one spot. This is 15 years ago. This nigga was on the internet detailing how he was the top earner of the Supreme team. You could go back 15 years on the internet right now on YouTube. You could probably pull a video up right now from 15 years, 10, 15 years ago, easy, of Bimie talking about how he was in South Jamaica, Queens. Now I'm saying the lieutenant controlling the spots and all that. He had 5, 6 spots, getting $50,000. That's right? This is what he's been doing on the internet for over a decade now. He's been on the internet promoting himself as the lead earner from the Supreme team. Not as a tough guy, none of that, but as the lead earner from the Supreme team that just happened to get away. All of the indictments that hit the Supreme team, he just happened to get away scot-free. He never got jammed up with them. How? Let them, I don't know. Maybe one day they'll explain how Bimie never got jammed up with him. I don't know. But I just know that 2 different Supreme team with federal indictments, the top earner never got jammed up with them. When the internet come out, YouTube and things like that, he get to making his rounds, telling people all this. He makes some friends on his internet. I don't know how he make the friends, but I know he has some friends on the internet. A few years ago, I make my foray onto the internet. Yeah, I come out of jail. The internet is looking like a big hiney waiting to get plugged, you heard? And I'm with it, you heard? Let's go. You feel me? That's what the internet is looking like to me, you heard? Here I go. Waiting to get a load of zip, you heard? Here I come. Lo and behold, Bimie reach out to me. Now, mind you, I've heard Bimie's no good, but they never showed us no paperwork on Bimie. So because they never showed us no paperwork on Bimie, you can't disregard what they said and say, oh, yo, they say he's no good, but I ain't seen no papers. I'm disregarding that. No, I don't move like that. They tell me a nigga's no good, but they don't got the papers. Okay, I keep that right here, front of my brain. I keep that right here in front of my brain. They always told me this nigga was no good. I ain't seen no papers, so I cannot promote that. I cannot tell my friends that this nigga's a snitch. I can't do that with my friends. I can't say, yo, he's a snitch. I can tell my friends, someone told me this about him, but I can't. You understand what I'm saying? I get a call from Bimie. Yo, man. Yo, I'm thinking about taking you, 10 Toes Down, Hassan Campbell, you know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 other punk dudes that be on YouTube. I'm put y'all in a big space, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And then all day long, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just create content, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying to myself, like, you just named some niggas that I don't mess with. And that's the deal breaker. That's who you trying to, nah, I'm not doing that. So I finessed the situation where, yo, that nigga got beef with that nigga. Me and that nigga's alright. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really, you know what I mean? I can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got some loyalty to this nigga, but I don't even really know this nigga neither, but I just don't want to do the business with these niggas that he named me. You feel what I'm saying? He have the dude call me. 10 Toes Down. He called my phone. Yo, that situation with me and Hassan Campbell is fake. Yada, 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 yada. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I still got to holler at Hassan Campbell. Yada, you know what I'm saying? I still got to holler at Hassan Campbell. I'm not doing no podcast with the dude 10 Toes Down. At the time, I think he's a goofy. Like, I'm watching, and I just started, like, watching YouTube, seeing what's going on, seeing how I could, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, the 10 Toes Down, he's a goofy. You know what I'm saying? The Hassan Campbell story to me, I hadn't put, like, 2 and 2. it was only making 4. It was only making 4 to me at the time, but I'm an ill nigga. I think outside the box. 2 and 2 is 22. Yeah, once I got it to make 22, no more dealings with him either. But that's another video, right? Long story short, short story shorter, I don't do no business with Bimie and 10 Toes Down and all of the other creators, because it's like, me and them dudes ain't got nothing in common. And I'm saying, like, I'm a real nigga. These niggas is goofies. I ain't got nothing in common with these niggas. I don't want to do no business with these niggas. You feel me? The dude 10 Toes Down, who I say I don't want to do no business with, some videos surfaced of him saying that he was in jail selling pictures of himself to men for money, writing letters and all of that. This is Bimie's, this Bimie man. Bimie be riding around with this dude and all that, and videos with this dude and all that. Bimie was trying to get me to do a podcast with this dude and all of that. He say, out his own mouth, that he was in jail writing letters to men, selling pictures of himself and all of that. He said one dude was sending him $1,000 a month. I say, how do you call yourself 10 Toes Down and you didn't do your bid 10 Toes Down? You fouled out. That's quasi mook. That's what I said. I called it. I coined the term quasi mook, dealing with it. Like, that's quasi mook. You know what I'm saying? It's only right. It's only right. Like, I don't violate you. I'm just saying that's quasi. You said that, and that's not right. Everybody agreed that that wasn't right. Instead of him taking accountability, like that bullshit that he be trying to pump on the internet, instead of taking accountability for his actions, he starts trying to slander me. Oh, Zip is a rat. Oh, Zip is gay. Oh, Zip, niggas was extorting Zip while he was in jail. Blah, 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 blah. It's really doing nothing to my reputation. It's not really hindering anything I got going on. He see that and start saying that my father was a rat and that my brother was a rat. Come on. Like, these is stand-up niggas. I'm a stand-up nigga, but but you start calling my father a rat. You start calling my brother a rat. My father has been sitting in jail since 1980. To this day, from December 1980 until present day, my father has been in the can. Never been on the streets with me, not one day of my life. I was born April 81. He went to jail December 1980. This nigga's calling this man a rat. My brother at the time was running around in the streets doing what he do. My brother is currently in jail. He got caught with a gun. Maybe because this nigga was putting my brother picture up all on the internet, talking crazy. Maybe that's the reason why the police was on my brother balls anyway. Who knows? But he was on the internet calling my brother a rat. My brother was in the streets moving and grooving. You on the internet calling him a rat. What if somebody believed you and do something to my brother? All because he said that he was selling pictures of himself to other men for money, and I said that that's not 10 Toes Down. You fouled out doing that. So now he's slandering me and my peoples, right? So I tell Bimie, hey, yo, you call me, asking me to do some type of business with this nigga. So now I'm asking you, homie, tell that nigga he can say whatever he want to say about me, but stop calling my brother and my father rats, please. Matter of fact, he hadn't called both of them a rat yet. I think he had only called my brother a rat. Yo, tell him stop calling my brother a rat, homie. I'ma holler at him. Instead of the nigga stop calling my brother a rat, he start calling my father a rat. That's how it went. That's the chain of events. What? As I previously explained about my father. call a nigga Bimie again. Yo, bro. I asked you to holler at that nigga, tell that nigga stop calling my brother a rat. Instead of him stop calling my brother a rat, he doubles down on that and then start calling my father a rat. Please, bro. Tell that nigga what mine is manners, bro. Stop calling them niggas rat. Niggas is stand-up niggas. Them niggas is official Queens niggas. You supposed to be an official Queens nigga. Tell that nigga stop slandering the Queens niggas, homie. Say what he want to say about me. This some internet shit. This some internet shit, but stop calling my people's rats, homie. That's your man. Tell him stop calling my people's rats. He never stopped calling my people's rats. He kept on. He kept on. He kept on. He kept on. And then, the paperwork fell in my lap. The paperwork fell in my lap. Yo, you know Bimie is a rat. What? What you? Let me. I read it. 2 and 2 turn into 22. I'm like, oh shit, I got him. I run him through the ringer on the internet. I run him through the ringer on the internet. Now I got everything. I got in the trial with a lawyer put in for the mistrial. Once the lawyer put in for the mistrial, they gotta file a motion. They gotta be written. It's a written motion where the lawyer is telling, like, the DA told me that James and Bimie was the confidential informant and all that. I put all that on the internet. All of that's on the internet. I had that nigga talking about he signed affidavits for Big Nose Troy, all types. I ran him through the ringer, you heard? He all on podcast. So I ain't no rat. I had a $2 million bail. I ain't no rat. I ain't no rat. Blah, 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 blah. Ran him through the ringer. All because he was associated with a nigga, a bozo, a goofy. So for a nigga playing games with me, lying, slandering me, the truth came out on Bimie. You remember what May said? On that when he was on the joint with Nori, Imam Thug, Cardan, Tragedy, and Ken? You roll with grimy niggas, you die with the shit your man done. That's what just happened to Bimie on the internet. I destroyed him because of his man. See, I'm from Queens. The newspaper said I was a legend in Queens. My family is legendary in Queens, right? This dude, this goofy nigga is on the internet talking crazy about me. Now, I don't got no OG niggas from Queens that's on the internet saying, yo, Zip is solid, Zip is official. I don't got none of that. But the OGs from Queens is not really on the internet. The only one of them niggas that's on the internet is the Bimie nigga. The Bimie nigga is the only OG nigga from Queens on the internet. And that talk about him being a rat, it had been like swept under the rug because the paperwork had never surfaced. You know what I'm saying? He kept his... It stayed under the rug because... But now, I got it all on the internet. And he looking crazy. And then, out of nowhere, a federal judge released the nigga Prince. Oh my gosh. Like, after I get it circulating that this nigga's a rat, he making his rounds on all of the platforms. Yo, I ain't no rat, I'm a stand-up nigga. A documentary come out. It sound like a name get bleeped out. People would say Prince is talking on the phone. He's saying, yo, such and such. The name bleeps out, call the crib, People speculating that was Bimie. Prince never said, yo, that was Bimie. He said he home now. He never said, yo, that was Bimie. Since he been home, he ain't never even really addressed the issue. Them niggas never really addressed the nigga Bimie. I mean, I'm saying, I'm sure they heard about me being on the internet calling this nigga all kinds of rats and all that. They ain't never step up for that nigga and say, nah, he's solid. They ain't never do that. You know what I'm saying? But because he was running around with this goofy nigga that was playing games with an official nigga, I'm official. My father's official. My brother is official. Because he was a goofy playing games with us on the internet, now Bimie reputation is over for him. Prince have a party. Prince have a party. Bimie don't show up to the party. Bimie not showing up to that party is nothing had I not been on the internet saying what I was saying. Now it's a magnifying glass on that nigga. Is he gonna show up to this party? Is he gonna show up to this party? Because I put the scope on him. See, if he stay off the internet, none of this ever happens. But he want to be all on the internet. He want to be with the niggas he think is lit. He think is this goofy nigga uptown. He thought that nigga was lit. He must have thought that nigga was about to blow. Like that nigga was about to be the next best thing on this internet or something. He stood by it. He locked arms with, yo, don't talk about him. Oh, yo, don't say nothing bad about him. I ain't gonna let you talk about him. The nigga that be on the internet lying, putting fake paperwork out on niggas, calling niggas rats with no paperwork, calling niggas slandering niggas. That's the nigga you locking arms with on this internet. Alright, so watch me destroy you on this internet now. And see you try to crawl out this hole that I bury you in, you heard? And then Prince came home. Prince had a party on May 9th. Bimie don't go to the party. How you the top earner for the Supreme Team and you don't go to the party that the leader of the Supreme Team throw welcome home party? Nobody would have even cared whether or not he showed up to that party had I not been on the internet saying what I've been saying about this nigga for the last 2-3 years now. That's a fact. Nobody would have cared. Because it is what it is. He home, I ain't going to the party. But I ain't going to the... But now that I got, he's a Rizat circulating all through the atmosphere, and he don't show up to that party, it lends credence to what I've been saying for these past couple years. Bimie ain't no good. It been a lot of y'all that been on the internet. Mav Hoffa called me a jive turkey for saying what I said about that nigga. Mav Hoffa, I forgive you for calling me a jive turkey, homie. Yeah, I forgive you for calling me a jive turkey. You ain't know no better. And I'm saying, if you knew better, I think you would have did better. You feel me? If you knew better, I think you would have did better, you heard? But you ain't know no better at the time, you know what I'm saying? But this is just a reminder, y'all. This internet is not done destroying niggas. Yeah, the internet is kind of like probably just getting started destroying niggas. But Bimie is definitely on the list of niggas who the internet destroyed. Let's get to that.